What's up, guys? Me, the Golden Child. Welcome to what I'm reading. Pretty much right now, I'm just going to be telling you guys about the books that I'm reading, how they make me feel, and my experiences with them. I'm not going to be sharing any information about what's inside the book. If you want that information or if you want to read along with me, click the link in the description, join my book club. And with that being said, let's get into it. Guys, today I'm going to be talking to y'all about the Sorcerer's Stone: A Beginner's Guide to Alchemy by Dennis William Hauck. Pretty much what first made me interested in this book is that I know I knew what alchemy was, but I just wanted to know more about it. I know that alchemy is kind of like a spiritual science, so I just wanted to know more about it. So I picked it up. This book tells you everything about alchemy. It tells you the history of alchemy, and then it tells you the purpose of alchemy, and it tells you how you can do alchemy. Pretty much a lot of the alchemical teachings come from something called the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. I suggest you go look that up. The Emerald Tablets are basically these indestructible tablets, and they are said to have been left here by Hermes Trismegistus, aka Thoth, which is basically the Egyptian god of wisdom and um, writing, arithmetic, math, science. We get all that from Thoth. He's the Egyptian god of wisdom. And he left us these tablets, and these are like a real thing. So, like, if you like want to know, what makes these tablets so crazy is that they cannot be corroded, they cannot be destroyed, they are indestructible. Emerald tablets, they are indestructible. The Emerald Tablets of Thoth, go look it up. But we get the teachings of alchemy from these tablets. Also, you can read the tablets yourself. Some people, like Isaac Newton, I think Albert Einstein too, they translated, they wrote their own version of the Emerald Tablets. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't even know what language they're in, but some people have translated them. You know what I'm saying, for themselves. This is what they studying, man. The Emerald Tablets. This is when you start getting like back in touch with your ancestors. You know, like the Emerald Tablets. It teaches us about our spirituality and stuff like that. Suggest you go read them. You could even read them online. One translation, you can find them online and read about them. But we get our teachings of alchemy from the Emerald Tablets. Alchemy is basically, a lot of people think alchemy is about turning lead into gold, but pretty much it's about the process, you know what I'm saying? The transformation process. How to turn something in its lowest form to its highest form. If we're talking about metals, the lowest form of metal is lead. The highest form of metal is gold, the most perfect form. But it's not just about like, it's not just about the transformation progress. It's also about understanding the archetypal energy behind each step in the process. This is the process of perfection. According to the ancient Egyptians, the meaning of life is to join the gods in the great work. The great work, according to alchemy, is the natural process of perfection. If you look at nature, you'll see that it's naturally perfecting itself. So the meaning of life is to take part in the great work, and the great work is basically to perfect yourself. So the meaning of life is to perfect yourself, to be the best version of yourself. Work out, you know what I'm saying? Become the strongest version of yourself. Eat right, become the healthiest version of yourself. Read books, become the smartest version of yourself. If you want to read this book with me, or if you just want to read along with me in general, click the link in the description, join my book club. But that's what this is about. It's about how to turn something in its lowest form to its highest form, and how can we reach our highest potential. Alchemy will teach you all of that. Something very interesting in alchemy is known as the law of octaves. Basically, if you don't know, on a musical scale, there are 8 notes. There are 8 levels. but the first and the last note are the same note. It's just that the last note is like the more perfect version of the first note. It's on a higher vibration, but they essentially the same note. So you can see this pattern like in the planets. In the planet Saturn, if we're talking about the law of octaves, basically it's saying like there are 8 steps of transformation. You know what I'm saying? There are eight archetypal energies, how I like to think of it. And let's say the lowest form of the energy, the stage 1. So if we're talking about the law of octaves, it's 8 steps. The first version represents some sort of archetypal energy. In order to understand what this archetypal energy is, we got to look at how this energy manifests itself in different layers of reality. So by this I mean the number 1 will be 1. Okay, so if we're talking about numbers, 1 would be like a representation of this archetypal energy. If we're talking about the planets, you only look at the visible planets. The furthest visible planet from the sun is Saturn. So Saturn also represents the first archetypal energy. If we're looking at metals, lead represents that archetypal energy in the metal world. You can also look at plants and stuff like that. In your chakras, if you're looking at your chakras, your root chakras represents the archetypal energy in an energy form, in an energetic form, your root chakra. So like I just said, your root chakra, lead, Saturn, they all are expressions of this archetypal energy. These archetypal energies are what create reality, or what influence reality at the very least. So what you got to do is you got to gain a relationship with the planets. You should understand, you should be able to recognize, you should understand the energy given off by each planet. It's not hard. You don't have to sense it. You can read about the energy in this book. It tells you all of this straight from the book. You know what I'm saying? Gold, lead, or I mean not gold, but gold and the sun represent the highest form. You know what I'm saying? The most perfect form, the best archetypal energy, the highest caliber archetypal energy of creation. You know what I'm saying? The most perfect form, the spiritual essence, I would say. So you on that end you have your crown chakra, gold, the sun, you know, everything. They got crystals that correspond to one of these archetypal energies. The colors, there are wait, 6. Yeah, there are seven colors, and then when you combine all colors, you get black. You know what I'm saying? So black would be like the combination of all colors, the perfect form. And then you know what I'm saying? But you start Roy G. Biv, and that's why when you look at outer space is black, because you know what I'm saying? It's all about understanding, like frequency, the law of octaves. So yeah, I guess I should use the word frequency because that's a word people understand the most. On the one end of the spectrum, on the highest end of the spectrum, you have like gold, the sun, um, your crown chakra, black. Though these represent the highest frequency. The lowest frequency is represented by lead, Saturn, root chakra, these type of things, lower frequencies. And then you have, you know what I'm saying, 6 other frequencies, you know what I'm saying, in between. And then, yeah, once you understand these frequencies and understand the energy of these frequencies, you start to understand the nature of reality, and things start to make sense to you. So yeah, they talk about all that. This information is important because basically, like I said, the purpose of alchemy is to learn how to transform a dull spirit into a vibrant spirit, or something in its lowest form to its highest form. So let's say you like in a lower, You and your lower self right now. You and your lower self. You feeling sad or you angry or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You experiencing lower self stuff. By using alchemy, you can literally transmute that energy and, you know what I'm saying, correct inner disharmonies. This is what this is all about, really healing and perfecting oneself. The meaning of life is to perfect yourself, become the best version of yourself. You gotta do the work. They don't call it the great work for nothing. It's called the great work because it takes work to do it. You're not gonna wake up where you want to be. You gotta work to get there. You gotta put the work in. And this is talking about that work, the great work. I think this is a good book. It's not that long of a read either. They talk about a lot of they talk about a lot of astronomy, something really cool that I think that a couple cool things that I thought that they said. They said that Saturn, when our universe was creating, was manifesting, Saturn, if Saturn would have been able to attract more mass to its core, it would have basically become a second sun. And then our universe, no, if Saturn would have been able to draw more mass to its core, it would have been able to become a star. And then our solar system would have had two suns. And not only that, because we would have had two suns, we would have been on a higher level of existence right there. But Saturn wasn't able to attract enough mass to its core. And now it sleeps. It's a planet. And it's lost its bid to become a star. It's not going to happen. Well, actually, they say once mankind reaches a certain level of consciousness, we will return to Saturn and transform it into a star, help it finish its transformation into a star. But this time it won't be a star. It'll be a star on the same level. It's going to be a star on a higher level of reality. I don't understand what that means completely, but I like to think that it just means that it's gonna be on a level of reality where we more connected with the universe, you know. But basically, one of mankind's prophecies or one of mankind's destinies is to return to Saturn and help it finish its transformation to become a star, which is pretty cool. But it's also interesting to note that because Saturn represents like the negative, like let's be honest, it's the lowest frequency. Saturn represents, yeah, the lowest. All the other planets go around the sun fast. Saturn takes like, I don't even remember, but I think it takes like a couple hundred years for Saturn to complete its orbit. Like it's the slowest moving planet. It's either 33 or a couple hundred years. Sorry, I don't know it. If you want the exact information and if you want to read along with me, get all this knowledge together, click the link in the description, join my book club because we have an amazing discussions. But yeah, like that's pretty interesting. They talk about astrology because think about it. They don't call they don't call outer space the heavens for nothing. They don't call outer space like the ancients, like in Greek, they'd be like the heavens, the gods, you know what I'm saying? Like when they talk of God is the universe and God speaks through the universe. It's really not even all that complicated. If you looking at the stars, you know what I'm saying, you understand the energies of each planet, you'll understand what's going on. It's not that complicated. They don't call outer space the heavens for nothing. But something else that's interesting, they talk about the moon. Basically, the moon is like the second. The order of the planets is, hold on, let me look it up. The order of the planets is, because it goes by the order of the visible planets. So it's Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Venus, Mercury, and then they list the moon and sun. The sun is the highest frequency, the moon is the second highest frequency. The metal representation of the moon, the archetypal energy of the moon is silver. Also, it will be your third eye chakra. You know what I'm saying? But, and it goes deeper than that. I'm giving y'all 3 examples, but in my presentation that I'm giving to my book club, like I go way, way, way much more detail because it goes way deeper than just those three things. Like you'll see the law of octaves everywhere, you know. But going back to the moon, something that's very strange about our moon is that most moons are thousands, hundreds or thousands of times less massive than they planet. Our moon is only 88 times less massive than Earth. Not only that, but other moons are made of the same minerals as their planet, almost as if, you know what I'm saying, they're a little piece of the planet that got broke off. Our moon is made of completely different materials. Some people will say that the moon looks like Mercury, and Mercury and the moon both have the same, they both reflect the same amount of light. Why does our moon look like Mercury? Why is it so different from our Earth? Why is it so large compared to other planets? It's very strange. It's almost as if Earth is like, I don't know, it's like Earth is like the place where they put certain things together, you know what I'm saying? So that life could happen. Because other planets, our planet is the most diverse. Really, like, our planet is the most diverse. Like, from what I could see, other planets, like, they don't have water. We got water, and we have land, and we have air. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got all four elements. That's life. Other planets, you gotta look and see, like, do they have the four components of all life? Because think about it. Basically, this is more alchemy. Basically, when the four elements, and this is something I probably should have talked about in the beginning, but one of the things that is one of the most sacred teachings of alchemy is the understanding of the four elements. The four elements are earth, wind, water, fire. I could talk about where they come from and all that stuff, but going along with what I'm talking about with earth, when you combine the four elements together, when they are bonded together, because normally, think about it, when you combine fire and water, they cancel each other out. You know what I'm saying? But when you combine all four elements and they are all together balanced in harmony, you get the quintessence. The symbol of the quintessence is a pentagram with a circle. A pentagram also represents the body of man. In Chinese alchemy, the quintessence is the life force. So basically, when you combine all four elements together and you get it bonded together, you get the body of man. You know what I'm saying? You get life. Is basically the main thing. The four elements make up all life. Anything that has life has the four elements in your human body. Yo, you got blood and water in your body. That's water. You breathe in air. You breathe in air. Your body is earth. And fire could be your thoughts or it could be your spirit, whichever one you want to go with. But that is the essence of fire. You know what I'm saying? Fire is expansive. And and it rises. Your spirit is expansive and it rises, literally. So, you know what I'm saying? When you get all four elements together, you get life. And when you look at Earth, like I said, it's like we got all the elements. And it's like, I'm gonna keep it real. It's almost as if somebody said, you know what, we need this Mercury over here because Mercury kind of represents, like, I know my stuff. Mercury represents, oh wait, hold on. Yeah, Mercury is like your throat chakra. It represents intelligence, and you know what I'm saying? It's the swiftest moving planet around the sun. It's the third highest frequency. It's represented by literally the metal Mercury, the liquid metal. Yeah, on Earth, Mercury, that's the metallic expression of Mercury. So from this, it makes me think that the moon is there to play some sort of, I'm sorry, we ain't even talking about Mercury, we're talking about the moon. The moon, it looks like Mercury, that's why I got messed up, but the moon is the second highest frequency. It's represented by silver, you know what I'm saying, on the metallic expression of that archetypal energy. But It's almost as if somebody took the moon, took a piece of Mercury, which represents intelligence and stuff like that, brought the moon, gave us the moon. The moon represents like emotions and stuff like that. So it still kind of goes along with intelligence, because all of this is more mental, has to do with you as an individual. So somebody took a piece of the intelligence, put it, you know what I'm saying, by the earth, where the four elements are, help give us some emotional, you know what I'm saying, emotions. And that might have some sort of reason, something to do with why we are here, why there are conscious beings here. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that has something to do with it. But yeah, overall, man, I think this is a really interesting book. I'm only scratching the surface. Alchemy, like, they also talk about actually making like, I don't even know what they call it. It's like the medicine. Like, they talk about making tinctures and elixirs. Tinctures and elixirs. That like medicine stuff, like that magical medicine. Um, Again, all the information is in this book. If you want to read along with me, click the link in the description, join my book club. Also, if you support what I'm doing, want to help me spread positivity in the streets, bring people together, and encourage people to read more, get yourself a bookmark. Each bookmark is completely unique, has my contact information on it, and they're only $4. Click the link in the description. Hope to see all of you guys there. As always, I love y'all. Have a good one. Peace.